PhantomArcade heads. The way PhantomArcade draws heads can be as simple as a circle. The complexity in the way you draw the head depends on the character you're drawing. I mean, obviously. One thing I'm going to talk about right before I get into the meat and juice of this video, which I should have talked about in the last video, but it only crossed my mind recently, is the way PhantomArcade draws different characters from different styles and stuff, which... it's going to be hard to explain, but basically the level of stylization varies. And what I mean by this is basically like if PhantomArcade is drawing Goku, PhantomArcade tends to stick to a design pretty strictly. Take this drawing of Mario, for example. I mean, look how closely he sticks to the design and the head shape and stuff of Mario. Like, that's Mario, obviously. There's still a level of stylization to it, but I guess what I'm trying to say is the level of stylization matches the character. Like, if PhantomArcade is drawing a super realistic character, then that character is going to have more realistic proportions and be less stylized overall, versus how he would draw a character that is stylized like Mario or Sonic or literally any of the FNF characters. They're going to be more stylized and have less realistic proportions and stuff like that. But there is an exception to this. Like when he's drawing goofy stuff, he's going to make any character, no matter how realistic they are, look completely stupid just for the reason to make it funny. And spoiler alert, 6 times out of 10, he usually takes the goofy side. And with that being said, I believe it's time we start f***ing drawing. Let's go! Okay, just right before we get into the drawing, I'm just going to let you guys know what I'm using. So for these drawing tutorials, I'm actually just going to be using a website called magnet.com. It's a free website that you can draw on, and I don't have any pressure sensitivity. I'm drawing on a phone. If you got a phone, you can draw exactly what I'm drawing. The only way you'd be disadvantaged in any way is if you're drawing on a fucking log or whatever. I'm using the pencil tool, and I'm using a brush size between 5px and 1. So again, with that being said, let's actually get to the fucking drawing. Okay, so starting this off, obviously we're drawing some heads today. And what better way to start off than with just drawing the chibi boyfriend head. You know, to draw this head, I usually start with a line right here and then the cheek. It's really based off of muscle memory, but once you get your muscle memory going, like, you'll never forget how to do this. And then the ear is right there, that ear's ass. Let me redo it. Yeah, there you go. And then they have a really big head, but it's usually covered up by a hair hat. So it's as simple as that. That's how you do that. Like, and also the side profile of this head is literally going to be the same thing. Like, this is the side profile. The ear might be like right here though. And yeah, that's the side profile of the same head. And from behind, this is when I draw characters from behind, I always draw the top of their head first. It just makes everything easier for me. So this is this same head from behind. The ear is just gonna come over here this time. You see? So that's literally a 360 of this head. It's simple as that. The head is super simple. Okay, but another thing I want to do with this head real quick is this will kind of go for all the heads. Basically, for those super goofy faces and stuff like that, the head is gonna wrap around the face in a way. I gotta show you. Okay, so let's say I have a really pissed off boyfriend, and this will just be boyfriend. His eyes are bulging out. He's pissed off. So yeah, you can see. And then we're just gonna give him some really angry ass teeth. Yep. And then that lip. So to fit this face in one of these simple heads, it's not really gonna work as simple as just putting it on one. So what we really need to do is make it work around it. So the face is gonna, or the head is gonna contort. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's gonna like wrap around this face. So like, you see what I'm talking about? It's going around it. It's changing depending on how the face is. We can have the eyebrow bulging out a little bit, and you see how that just looks a lot more charming instead of just slapping it on one of these. He wouldn't look as pissed. He looks really pissed off just because of how this whole thing looks, right? Let me redo his hat. But there you go. So he looks like he has a really fat neck, because Oh, his blood is boiling. God. Oh, fucking. Oh, you bitch. Yeah, so that's just what I wanted to cover about this. So this is really going to go for all the heads. If you want that super stylized look and those facial expressions that really pop out, you're going to need to wrap the face shape and the head around the face. Like, please tell me I'm making sense here. I know I'm making sense. You see what I'm talking about. So yeah, I just want to tell you that because that's going to go for all heads. It doesn't matter. So yeah, keep that in mind. Okay, so I just drew this head and I realized I wasn't recording and now I'm really pissed off. For these type of anime heads, I see these type of anime heads reoccurring in the PhantomArcade style. He usually draws them a lot when he's not drawing FNF characters. When I draw these heads, I usually like to start with the eyes. And we're gonna be using Senpai as an example because, I mean, that's the only anime character in Friday Night Bunkin'. There we go. It's like this, I think. One thing I will say is please use a reference all the time. I have this problem with myself. I'm really stubborn and I never use a reference, which it just saved me a lot of damn time if I just use a reference. But we'll get into that more in a minute. But yeah, I definitely encourage all of you to use a reference and try and follow it pretty strictly, but moderately strictly. But I just think I'm so better than everyone, so I don't need a reference. Fuck that.
Oh no.
I have a reference in my mind. I can think of a 3D apple rotating in my mind. But yeah. So, kind of getting off topic here. But you see, when you draw this type of anime head, just think of kind of I guess a blade. Sort of like a blade. And it'll kind of come together. These are pretty simple too. They're a little more complex than the chibi head, but, you know, we'll get through it. Hair kind of sucks. Let me just do my best to try and recreate the drawing I did because I was actually happy with that. But this head is a good example for like different types of heads in this style. See? And I'm sticking to the design of Senpai pretty closely. Like really closely. And I encourage you to do that as well. So we got this other head. We just fill in his little darker spots on his hair. There we go. Kind of took a while. Doesn't really need that bottom lip. Maybe I can... Oh, and also, this will become a recurring thing. When you're doing this type of way of sketching, so this is my sketching. It doesn't have a skeleton or anything. I'm pretty sure you do this with any type of sketching anyway, but don't feel afraid to move stuff around in your drawing with this lasso tool. It's gonna save you a lot of time, and yeah, I do that a lot when I move stuff around. Honestly, this head looks better than the other one, so I'm not that mad. So yeah, there's that anime type head, that anime senpai head. And you also saw how PhantomArcade usually does this little nose. It's when you're not doing the Pico nose or the Darnell nose or the Babe nose, the one I made. Anime noses are usually like this. They're just like that, like a little shadow. Sometimes they could be this. Sometimes they can be this. Other times they could just be a line. Yeah, there's tons of noses. Like don't get stuck on one design. Please just be really creative when it comes to stuff like this. But yeah, that's that anime type head. Real quick, let's just do the side profile of this anime head. Like, it's pretty much like this. Like, You can even put the lips in if you want, like. There we go, something like that. And then that's like, I don't know, some little fucking anime shithead character. I'm not gonna bother drawing hair or anything. But yeah. There's the side profile of this head right here. Just so you guys know. But now let's get into more complicated heads. So I think a good example for a really complicated head would be Daddy Dearest's head. Now, this goes hand in hand with what I was talking about with this one. His facial expressions show on the outline of his head. So this is where his eyebrow is. Like, you know, he got the angry expression he usually has. And then he has a really, really defined face, so you're gonna make that cheek bump out a little, come down. And then the chin. You see what I mean? And then we can draw his eyes. And he has kind of a nose, but it's not really a nose. He kind of looks weird a little bit. Actually, I can fix this by just bringing him up a little. Again, with the lasso tool, don't be afraid to move your stuff around. See, now that looks a little bit better. Now his eyebrow doesn't match though. So, but you make the head around the face, you know what I'm saying? And now we have a pretty decent Daddy Dearest head. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, dog? But yeah. Then we just give him his little horns. Yes, sir. His ear. And boom, you got it. You see the vision. I guess I don't really know what to say about this. It's just simply, I pretty much said everything I need to say. I guess we'll just do a couple different more heads. And you guys can take reference and take everything I said in this video and kind of study it. Like, just take it to heart. Like, understand. You can draw even on Mommy Mirror's head. The Mommy Mirror's head is just this head, but a little bit more longer, I guess. It's kind of like this. She has a sharp cheek. And then her eyes are like that. And then the lips. Just outline them. Kind of. Those are some shitty lips. But the lasso tool to the rescue, you know what I'm saying, dog? Take that. God. Yeah. There you got Mommy Mirrorist. That's so bussin', kid. Little hair. I don't have to finish this wrong, but I'm gonna. She kind of looks fat a little. But yeah, I could probably fix up her jaw a little bit, cause she kind of has a more slimmer face than that. There we go. That's good enough. And there you go. So that's Mommy Mirrorist and Daddy Dearest. So a lot of things. I saw someone in my comments being like, please cover the fact that Friday Night Funkin' or the style does not always use these heads. Like, there's tons of different heads. Obviously, don't always use these heads. Use tons of different heads. So now that we got like basic heads down, now I'm gonna talk about how you would draw heads that Phantom Arcade has never drawn before, so you pretty much have to invent your own way to draw this. So I'm just gonna take a random picture of something from my gallery. Yeah, this is not going in the video. I'm exposing myself. Okay, so I just took the most randomest picture ever in my camera roll. This snotty boy, I forgot his name, but Phantom Arcade has never drawn this kid, but I'm gonna draw it like Phantom Arcade would. So I have my reference. Now I'm gonna draw his head. Just take inspiration a lot. His head is built like a damn squash, so I'm gonna draw it like a squash. You got that big cheek, and it comes down. He's fat. He's fat. And then, yep, he kind of has a slimmer forehead or whatever. Eyebrows. And then eyes. Here we go. And then he has a big nose. And then lips. See what I mean, bro? See what I mean? So it, like, just take a reference and follow the reference, and then you'll have a really good drawing. So, yeah, Phantom Arcade's never drawn this kid, but I did. You just take his hair, draw it. Boom, boom, boom. Now we got the snotty boy in the Phantom Arcade style, because that's bustin' kid. Yep. Alright guys, so that's pretty much just gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys learned a lot from this. First of all, what I should have covered in the last video about how Phantom Arcade draws different characters. You should really take a lot of inspiration from a reference. Always use a reference. And the heads aren't always limited to that one boyfriend head. Like, there's tons of different heads, and there's tons of ways to draw the different heads. And also how the facial expressions changes the outline of the head. I just make sure to try and study and understand this video, because everything I'm saying, it is right. Come on now, let's be real. But
Oh no.
I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys get this video, I'm gonna start off small. If you guys get this video to 1,000 likes, I'm gonna drop another video. Make sure to let me know in the comments what you'd like to cover, what you would like me to cover next. That being said, I'm gonna catch y'all later.
Peace out. Yeah.